the key to making this easy, the key to really not having to push and having your patients buy your services rather than you having to sell them, which is the ultimate. I mean, that's the ultimate in soft selling, is people buy from you and you make it easy for people to buy from you rather than you having to sell. Is really to understand the buying motivation. And Derek and I was talking about when we were doing our discussions beforehand as to what you most might want to hear about. One of the things we were talking about is dental practices that are providing NHS services, and how do you get NHS patients to be interested in going private. So I'm really going to be using that in terms of demonstrating buying motivation, but it could be that you have different buying motivations for different products and services, but it's really understanding why people buy, and people buy for different reasons. So let's just look at some buy motives. So you get an inquiry coming into your practice, and let's assume that they already have a current dentist. Why are they making that phone call? People do not do things without a reason. People do not make an inquiry without a reason. So actually asking them why they're looking to move dental practice, or why they made the call, will give you some valuable information. Now, one of the reasons might be that they're looking to save money. So they could be, for example, with a private practice, and they're looking to save money by going NHS. It's important to know that sort of information. It could actually be that people who are interested in saving money are actually, if there's a certain treatment that by going private you get a better, longer lasting solution, and it saves money in the long term, they may be interested in that rather than a short-term fix. But saving money could be one buying motive for making that call. Another one could be flexibility. So if you imagine that certain people are their work causes them to not really know and not really be able to plan ahead, and they need to be able to book at very short notice. So one of the reasons why they could be calling is that they're looking for more flexibility in being able to book for a dental practice. So maybe they need something really short term. Now another one could be convenience. So people are working, they can't get time off work to go to the dentist, so maybe they want to have an evening appointment, or maybe they want a weekend appointment, but they're looking for more convenience that they're not getting from their existing dentist. Comfort is another thing. Now this is quite an interesting one. So some people may be coming from another dental practice, and they're just looking for something a little bit more plush and palatial, and you could potentially build in this into your practice in terms of having more comfort. For example, this is just an example. It's not. I'm not recommending it, but if you have the room, you could have one room which is an NHS waiting room, and another room which is a private waiting room. You could have, actually, if you've got two different locations, you could put one NHS and one private. But it enables them to have a difference. The other thing could be quality. So this is quality of the service. If they don't think they're being treated very well, they may be moving from a quality of service. But understanding these buying motives enables you to potentially change what you're doing, because at the core of it, if there's no difference between an NHS experience and a private experience, then why would they, people would generally go for the lowest price. You need to look at your business model and look at how you add extra value so people are prepared to pay for that extra value. And without that, it's really hard to sell. But when you look at the buy motives and you look at how you are going to be dealing with them, then it becomes easier. For example, with flexibility, you could have your dental practice where NHS patients need to book in advance, and private patients can book at short notice. You could have it that NHS dentists or only private patients can have bookings at the weekend or the evening. You could, as I said, you could have different levels of waiting room, and there could be different levels of quality of experience and so on. But it's really about how you build that into your practice and having something to sell.